Just 6 years ago, this guy right here was waiting tables in a restaurant when he decided to say, F it. He quit his job to start learning how to make money online, and in just 2 years, he did this.
If there's a part of your life that you don't love right now, today, you get to change it.
This is the story of Doug Boughton, a self-made millionaire who's going to give you everything you need to know to start making money with an online school community. Whether you're brand new, just starting off, or you're deep into your entrepreneurial journey and you want to make more. Check it out.
What is the least amount of money that you've ever had?
Negative in the bank. Negative money. You know what's funny though about this? Like, someone taught me once, like, you never run out of money. Most people in their life at some point were negative in the bank, but you always came back. You always found a way to get more of it, right? So it's kind of a cool principle to keep in mind. But yeah, dropped out of college, couldn't really find a job, no degree. Also, $114,000 student loan debt. And I was looking for something flexible, and sales jobs and restaurants were very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the route that I went.
What pulled you out of that?
It was a moment in the restaurant where I had some old high school friends come in. We weren't great friends, but acquaintances. And they came in with their families and they got young ones. And, you know, I'm in my young 30s and I'm like, man, these people really got it together. And, you know, the negative self-talk really set in, was like, what are you doing with your life? I just felt, I know they probably weren't, but I felt like I was being judged. And I'm like, am I just gonna be a waiter for the rest of my life? I feel like I'm being called for something more. And then the catalyst was I went to a concert and they had this song that was a hit called Vacation. And it kind of goes along the lines of, if you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. And the singer's like, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation.
Hey,
nice. I'm like, I can't stand my occupation. Like I'm grateful for it. I learned so much about sales and people and customer service. But I went home and wrote my resignation letter. And I held on to that resignation letter in my glove box for like 2 months until my boss came in one day and was like, hey, manager left. This is like the 18th one since I'd worked there that keep leaving. He's like, do you want to become manager? Like, you're already doing a lot of these things for our marketing. And I said, hold that thought, I'll be right back. Went and grabbed the resignation letter, came back and said, I need you to read this. And I went out on my own.
So you get out of the restaurant. You've been trying to do the online stuff for 7+ years.
Yeah.
How does it actually start to work for you?
It started to work. I had discovered a tool called ClickFunnels. I was building websites. So I think my early days were me trying to figure out websites for the things I was trying to sell. You know, I built out a website and a funnel for the restaurant that I was working at. And it was we were running ads with a 10-mile radius around the restaurant for upcoming birthdays and upcoming anniversaries. And then we were getting them on our email list with phone number, text, and we started getting people to book parties, and the ROI was insane. So I'm like, this is working. After 2 weeks, I didn't even wait like a month. 2 weeks, I printed out this piece of paper, laminated it, and I started going around to other restaurants and put it in their hands, walking in, here you go, here's the results. And the thing was, they didn't really care about funnels and websites and all of that. They just wanted more customers, and some of them, most of them were just wanting more lunch takeout orders. It's more profitable. So I started leading with that message. So for me, the early days, I was selling $500 landing pages and hopes that I could upsell them into ad services.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love how you started with the restaurant.
Yeah. It was what I knew, you know, and then the marketing I really loved. So I just combined the two.
So mentorship has been something that's been a big part of your journey.
Yeah.
Who was the first mentor and how did they start to unlock stuff for you?
Yeah, Russell Brunson for sure. His trainings, his books just changed everything for me. When I quit the restaurant, I had 5 goals. I said, I'm going to quit this job. This is goal 1. I did it almost immediately, 2 months. I want to earn the ClickFunnels Dream Car Award. So that's 100 referrals to their software. And it's 40% commission. So it's around 5 figures a month at that point. Plus they pay for your car, dream car winner. I'm like, I want that. And then I knew from there, I wanted to go and join his inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, so I could speak on stage at Funnel Hacking Live. So I went to that first event and met Russell and everybody. And the belief shift in the room was insane. Like, I saw these people crossing stage, making $1 million in their business, some 10 million, some even 100 million. And I left. I launched my first online course that next month and made $34,000 in sales, which is almost as much as I made waiting tables 7 days a week on doubles the previous year.
And that's the big mindset shift.
That was it. I was just like, what is this?
Right.
And it was because I think I wouldn't have done without a mentor. I would have gone and built the course first,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have maybe never happened, you know? But I think that pressure, seeing the number in my bank go down even more, it's an interesting, like, and the pressure of now I'm indebted and I see what other people are doing that's possible, and then just going for it.
Sure.
And having them like, well, this is going to happen next. This is what you're going to be scared of. Here's what you're going to do. Just that's mentorship and guidance and why it's happening in our minds, you know?
So you went to that conference, your mindset totally shifted. You saw it was possible. Then you took the risk.
Yeah.
You experienced the reward. And then, well, that's you. You're hooked for life at that stage.
And
You seem to be someone for whom action is really important. Why do you think early stage entrepreneurs have such a big gap between idea and action? Whereas the really big people like this mentor, like you now, the gap is so short.
breaking comfort zones is really uncomfortable and it's scary. And I think some of the best people in the world have more limiting beliefs than people that don't care. So I think more people that really care struggle to say, I need to put this out, I need to make it perfect. And what are people going to all the things start setting in. So I think it's just the belief. Even if you have the belief, you say you believe, do you really believe deep down? And until you get into the room with people, that will really shift fast. Even like these less than 24 hours being around people here at the mastermind, it's like mind's blown with potential ideas. But yeah, I think it's just looking at your life and saying, I've done hard things. I've struggled a lot in these areas and I've overcome them. So when you look at your struggles and your accomplishments, that's proof right there that you need to say, I could do this. It might be something new, but people have done way harder things than start an online business. You know, most people.
Yeah.
So I think it's just letting go and not looking at the finish line because there's no such thing. It's just looking at that, what do I need to do today? And I think it's like imperfect action, knowing that you're going to be able to make it better over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of what ClickFunnels has done is that they show you multiple future versions of yourself that you could become.
Yeah.
So it's like, I could become a 2 comma award winner. I could become a dream car winner. I could speak on stage.
Yeah.
How did it feel for you whenever you started to like tick those things?
Oh, amazing.
Literally in real life.
I did get the chance to finally speak at Funnel Hacking Live. It didn't take me a year, like I claimed. I'm like, I'm gonna do this in a year. It did take 4 years, but on the stage, I pulled up a post I made in March of 2019, right before I got that course launched, or right around that time. And I posted a screenshot of my negative bank account. And I said, here's where I'm at. Here's my big goals. And I'm posting this because when I speak on stage at Funnel Hacking Live, I'm going to use this slide in my presentation.
Oh, damn.
And I did. And I forgot about it. And when I was building my slides, Russell and his team were like, where's your slides? I'm like, I'm stuck. I need inspiration. I went back to the community, typed my name in, went back to 2019, found that post. I'm like, no way. Like I totally forgot about it. I'm like, that's my slides. And that was the opening to my speech.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that community is one of your values.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
You know, I've been doing a lot of deep digging on this. And it comes down to I moved a lot growing up, 17 times before my 18th birthday. And I never really had like that locked in group of friends. And I find I feel like we value what we lacked growing up, maybe, right? Some people, their top values are what they really want because maybe it's through a lack of. And I think that's probably a good reason why. I was chasing awards, 2 Comma Club award, 10X award, and the next award. And it's interesting because when I got to my first 2 Comma Club award, I remember nothing felt like it changed. I was grateful that I'm like, I hit that new milestone. What's next? What's next? Check. And it does feel amazing. But nothing was really changing, I feel like, you know, and I'm like, I need a new aim. And that new aim for me became building actual communities, not only online, but offline. And I had placed number 3 on a top 10 affiliate contest, got a check for 25 grand. And I was telling my audience, I was up against some big names in the industry, big email lists. My email list was like 6,000 people at the time. I'm like, if we finish top 3 where we get a bonus, I'm going to donate that to build some homes for families in need because I had been doing some mission work down in Baja, Ensenada, Mexico. And we did. We were able to build 2 homes with that check. And then I left there, brought my community members in person to build that home. We did it in 3 days, those 2 homes actually. And I said, we're going to build 100. That's the new aim. And no, it's funny that there is an award attached to it. If you donate $1 million to a cause, you get the Dave Woodward Award, the 2 Hearts Award that they give out. So I'm like, let's do this together. Let's go. If I could donate $1 million by 2030, the revenue and sales are going to work itself out. You know?
Well, because you, in a way, you have indebted yourself to the cause, and so those mechanics just kick in again, and you're like, okay, let's go.
We're funding house build number 5 happening this fall. So we're doing 2 a year. My goal is to get to 4 a year. And not only through that, but people we bring on these builds end up leaving like, I want to bring my people to come do this in person. And like, it gives them like a mission-based cause for their communities, which is really cool. And I just love being around people and meeting new people, especially like when you get people that you have similar. I heard someone say it in school the other day. It was like, you don't have to explain yourself in the room. It's like, we could just hit it off. You don't got to like, what is that about? What are you talking about?
You just hit the ground running.
You just hit it. Yeah. So I'm really passionate about communities, and it gave me my big breakthrough when I was struggling back in 2018 with the restaurant stuff and helping those clients. I knew I wanted to get into the affiliate. I didn't want to create my own course right away because I'm like, I don't have the skills or expertise yet. Even though I probably had 7 years of failing, you're going to figure some things out. And I looked at all the people winning. They all had this online community of some sort. So I went into a lot of them and studied, what are they doing that I like? What don't I like? What are they missing? What's the gap? Launched my first community called Sales Funnel Mastery, brought in funnel marketers, to the world. And I'm like, these are my people. Didn't know where it was going to lead to, but I knew what they needed. And that group grew to 2,000 people in 60 days without ads, without me having any results to share, anything like that.
Wow.
So that was my first, like, okay, this is cool.
Where were you hosting those communities?
Facebook groups at the time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what pulled you away from that?
School.
Okay, let me like re-entry. It's like, why did you get that school fever? That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Whenever
it's a real thing.
You just really, you're like, I see the opportunity and I'm just ready to go all in on it.
And let me be clear, there's a lot of things over the years that I could have gotten excited about, and I stayed in my lane. And a lot of the peers that were starting around the time I started have done so many things, going from this opportunity to AI to this thing, right? And not to say not to do that, but I'm just being clear, like, I don't just jump on trends. When I saw school, it was the conversation I had with Sam in the lunchroom at ClickFunnels headquarters about growing up. We both raced BMX, and then we got the go-kart racing, and he was talking about how he would win races, and he's going to this go-kart, and he would literally get this thing down to nuts and bolts, take out anything that's necessary. You don't need AC to win races. You don't need this. He would take the nuts and bolts and drill out the metal inside because you don't need it. Get it light as possible, optimize the engine, optimize the exhaust. Where's the bottleneck? And then he's relating this obviously back to business. And I'm like, so he exited consulting.com, which was one of the biggest in the space. You're just in this conversation, I know how detailed you are, laser you are. He's got this goal of 1 billion users to find communities and over 1 million to create communities. I'm like, he's going to hit that goal. This isn't a fad trend, whatever you want to call it. This is real. He's solving real big problems in the industry. And my moment of experiencing, I was already doing gamification in Facebook groups on my own. It wasn't built-in feature. I was building out leaderboards and graphics, and the amount of labor and team that it required to do these things for our events was insane. And this was built in. And I'm a big gamification person. I think that people really thrive with incentives, collaborative competitions, and I've seen proof of it for years. So yeah, I think that's what got my attention. And when I experienced it for the first time, I was hooked.
Love it.
Yeah.
What do you think? This is a random question, but I'm curious to hear your response. What do you think the difference is between an audience and the community?
I love that question. Audience is obviously people follow you. They take a look at your stuff. They watch you sometimes potentially for years and never really commit to anything, even though they want to. But there's a different feeling when, and I feel like it's kind of like, think about like you're looking at a computer screen. So what's the difference of like looking at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, but being in a community? It's really the same actual thing that's happening. But just like the shift that you're inside of something, there's got to be something there. It's like, I've been accepted. I am being seen in this community. I could have contribution. I think it really meets a lot more of the human needs, So I think that there's a more intentional way to do it, and it's through community.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what you said earlier, where you feel like you don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah.
And it works for any niche.
Anything.
So you could be a chess player. You could be someone who's really into pottery. You could be someone who's really into funnels.
Yeah.
You could be someone really into podcasting. It's like you get in the school community with all these other people there. You don't need to, what, you play chess? Like, I didn't know people used to play chess. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you make content about it? What the? You just cut all that and you get straight to the problems, or straight to the excitement, or straight to the joy.
Everyone's at this. Usually, when people find a community that they're in alignment to, they have similar goals, a similar path, similar struggles, and you don't have to explain any of that. You just know, and it collapses the connection point down to like days, sometimes even faster.
I think we even talked about this last night in the mansion. One of my favorite school-related quotes is from Calvin Hollywood, and he says, "People will leave a product, but they'll never leave their friends."
Yeah.
And when you get in there to that community where you feel seen, you feel accepted, like-minded, the collapsions of those connection points that you talked about.
Yeah.
Like, that's so valuable. Like, you don't want to leave that.
It's just bringing people together. And yeah, I think it's pretty special because most in the real world, a lot of friends and family and circles might not be interested in those things. And it's hard to find people in your hometown or your circle to relate to. And it's like, wait, there's how many people that are also interested in this place I could hang out in? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the internet's for.
Yeah.
It's to find the others.
Yeah.
It's to find your people.
Yeah.
Because you can grow up in a small little village in Ireland.
Yeah.
Or, where you were brought up.
Yeah.
And how many people in your hometown or village are into funnels?
I think I've met one because I was wearing a shirt at the gym, and over 5 or 6 years that I was repping that, shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
One person and we connected, it's interesting though. But yeah, most people have no clue what I do. And I don't talk about a lot of it, like number wise and all that. And most of them don't know what I'm doing or, and they're like, hey, like, how are things going? You're gonna go back to school? You're gonna go apply for a real job? Like, it's like, and now it's funny because now I'm more vocal on social media on what I do. And I don't put a lot of screenshots, but I'll talk about some of the revenue numbers we've done. And I've had people reach out like, okay, you got my attention. How do I do this thing? And, I would love to help people, especially people that I know, but it's also like, I'm just real with people. Like you really got to put in the time. And if you're already putting time into something else, you just got to be patient with finding the thing.
Yeah.
And people just want to go like, I want to make money. And, that works for a little bit of while, but I find when you actually find something through developing skill sets, putting in the effort and being patient with what's going to come up next, you'll find that thing that's more in alignment to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're here in Vegas?
Yeah.
You won the school games?
Yeah.
You're going to get another awesome award.
Trophy. Let's go.
Oh, come on. Stack it up.
I'm going to need a bigger office.
The shelf's just going to be like absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're here. You're in the mansion with all the other winners, hanging out with Alex Hormozi and Sam tomorrow.
So stoked.
What are you looking forward to about the event?
I mean, my first 15 minutes, met someone named Christian. We had a conversation, asked me, what would it look like what's the impossible goal? How long? I think I said 3 years. He's like, would it look like 6 months? I just told him 1, 2, 3. I'm like, wait, that was simple. And it was the mindset shifts just from talking to people, doing much bigger things, thinking bigger. Is incredible. I'm like already, it hasn't even started. I'm like, now I won't say I'm ready to go home, but I want to go and implement. And we haven't even started the event. So I'm just excited for my intention is meet everybody, get to connect, see what could we do, even if it's just collaborate or just encourage each other. It's cool to meet you in person. I told you, I'm like, we did an interview. I feel like I already met you in person, but I'm like, you said we've only known each other 2 hours. I was like, wait, you're right. We did just meet.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to connect. I'm big on community, obviously online, but like there's something different about in-person events and meeting people.
Bro, yeah. I loved our conversation last night.
Yeah.
It's like so good.
So we should just put the mic in the cameras, jamming out for 2 hours till midnight, just shooting all like the gold pouring out.
But that's what it is. It's exactly what you've said. It's the like-minded people coming together.
Yeah.
The school games has been a filter. Yeah. That has filtered people who are really crushing it on the platform. So now you get these people together and it's like, bro.
I was saying the biggest, I won't say surprise. It's just so cool, actually. Like the diversity of this school community, bringing people together from all over the world, all ages. It's pretty amazing.
It's great.
Yeah, people you normally wouldn't have gotten a chance to meet.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to ask you a 2-pronged question. I never ask 2-pronged questions, but it feels right to do it. Okay.
Okay.
What do you see the future of this platform Where do you see that going? So school, online communities. And then like, where do you see your future as a community builder?
Ooh. I see this becoming more than a household name. I think there's certain things that come on the internet that could change life for people. And I'm talking about communities. And we had a quick conversation before this even started. And I'm going to bring it up because it's so good. Is most people think of school, I've heard of it as like people helping people make money online. And it's not true. There's communities on all types of topics. I saw a sewing community. I saw like true hobbies and crafting, and it's just really neat. But I think local businesses can benefit. I'm like, man, think about churches. Like if they could have a community for their people, they have a schedule of events, volunteer events, they have like the donations through the monthly recurring. And then think about restaurants. Hey, become one of our VIPs. And you could, I've seen restaurant subscription models where join the wine club and you get a wine bottle every month. You get 10% when you come in. You have all of our wine dinners, beer tastings, events, our specials are posted every week, whatever it is. Like it's fascinating how I think local businesses could adopt this, but that's just the start. Now we're talking about obviously influencers, but that are using Patreon, Discord, all these other platforms are great, but there's nothing that comes close to school and where school is going and how fast they make these features that people are asking for. But talk about celebrities, like beyond marketing celebrities, like it's already happening. Yeah. And I think it's just going to be there's no ceiling. It's going to be big. It already is. I
mean, Russell Brunson just joined school.
Yeah, Russell Brunson.
That's a crazy full circle moment for you.
It is. And he joined my community. Like he's in one other community. Like, because I'm like, this can't be him. This must be like a fake account. Turns out it was him. He's looking, seeing what's going on here. And I just saw him host his first online event, online selling, and had a community and held his event in that school community. And it's just cool to see him putting some of his paid programs on school now too. Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes and what opens up there.
It'd be really interesting to kind of see what the next 3 months hold in terms of who comes on. But what about you?
Yeah, I want to help create top 1% community creators. So there's a ranking system, if you guys aren't familiar that are listening. Being top ranked is really special because now if you have no authority or credibility in your mind, but you create a community, that's already like you already have this level up of authority and credibility. And then you're ranking up on a platform that's grown massively. Think about when it has 1 billion users. It's become this like community marketplace.
Yes, sir.
People are finding our community. I don't run content right now. I don't run ads right now.
Yeah.
Like that might change. It will change, but I'm just trying to build the foundation right now. Mm-hmm. But just people finding us in discovery has been 200 people joining our community a week. It's crazy.
I had a conversation with someone the other day and we said, it's like being one of the first people to put your book on Amazon.
Yeah.
And getting loads of reviews and being really high up in the Amazon Kindle leaderboards or whatever. It's like you get such an advantage.
Yeah. And people are going to search for keywords. And so this kind of goes back to top 1% community. It's very achievable because most won't put the energy into it. But when I think about what people are putting their energy and their time into outside of building a community is here to stay. And it might evolve, it'll change, it'll shift because they'll tell you where it wants to go. Mm-hmm. So even before starting any kind of channel or anything, I would go start a community.
Yeah. And I love that you brought that point up at the end. I think that this community model will attract so many more people into the world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Who have maybe been put off by, I don't want to be a guru. I don't want to just have followers. I don't want to just put myself out there and just like talk and give people advice and everything. But there's so many servant-hearted, great people in the world who have so much value to give, are great problem solvers, are great with people, where the community model is like the thing that they've been waiting for.
Yeah. Think about the evolution since I've been involved. It's been 2012. So I dropped out of college, 2009, 10 area. 2012 is where we start looking at entrepreneurship. It was so hard. You had to learn, like, some people watching this might say WordPress is easy, but I think it was really difficult to learn these website
I've wasted
builder. Yeah.
so much of my life trying to figure out WordPress.
Right. So there's a whole generation of learning HTML and websites and all of this and everything else you need to pay for to figure out how to just accept a payment online, create products online. And then tools like ClickFunnels come along and make it a little easier with funnels and drag and drop builders. And now we're in this wave of, honestly, all you need is a school account.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen a product where you enroll for a 14-day free trial. You could set up your community. You could set up your paid products. You could charge one-time payments. You could charge memberships. You could charge annual memberships. And it's just one tool. I mean, I've over the years got my tech stack up to $3,000, over $3,000 a month. And you have this one tool that you could do all those things. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it is easier for people that have thought about doing something online to be able to do that without the tech stopping them and all the other things.
So cool. So if you're watching this, you are interested in starting your own community, you can join Doug's free community below. Like, we would love to send you that way and link down there. But Jenny, dude, this was so awesome. I had an absolute blast. And thanks for sharing everything you did.
I could do this all day long.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to do the next 3 days.
Actually, yeah. So thanks for having me. This was amazing.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.